There we go. Nice little iconic dead air intro there. So I'm doing the multi-streaming thing again. So I should be simultaneously live on both Stream.me and YouTube. I'm trying to see if I can monitor the chat this time with just one window because Restream actually has an option for that, but I'm not sure if it works. So we'll see what happens. But as you guys can see from the title, I think it's very apparent what we'll be talking about here this evening. And it's just one of those things where, so much has happened that it's like you can't not address it at this point. It's like the elephant in the room. You kind of have to. Yeah, okay, great. So here we go. I've got the stream chat, and it looks like it's working out all right. Hey, welcome, guys. What's up? Let me just try to get over to the proper YouTube window. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to talk about this for a little while, and I'll give my personal experience with both Tonka and the Kumite in general. And I was on the show twice, much later in the show's life. And it was right after my channel got a strike for hosting the Ralph Retort. And, got to be completely honest, at the time, Tonka and Failure and Vamp were all very kind to me about it. They offered up their channels for streaming, which, I thanked them for, and I thought it was really cool of them to do. But, that doesn't mean that I can't say anything when something is wrong. And, there's definitely something wrong with this picture, as all of you know. You know what? I think at some point here I will play the intro from Andy's fight last night. Well, what was supposed to be Andy's fight. And we'll get a good laugh out of that. I'm sure most of you have seen it. What is this miserable live stream? It's just miserable. That is completely the point. Yes. We love misery around here. But yeah, I gotta say that this is one of those things that you just can't come back from. I honestly don't know what this guy was thinking. I'm sure most of you know the situation by now. But, man, the whole internet tough guy act, it's like every time somebody puts on that show, it's always a matter of projection. I mean, he acts like he's the toughest guy around, goes, challenging all these people online to fights, and people are like, you know what, this is kind of gay. And he's like, no, this is my thing, I'm really into this and shit. And then it turns out that he's the biggest bitch of them all, and does everything in his power to get out of this fight. And the thing that's most messed up about it is, he burned so many bridges along the way. There were a lot of people that supported him, a lot of people that, thought the show was entertaining. And for a while, it definitely was. There were some good screaming matches on there. There were some, genuinely entertaining and funny moments. And, rather than just keeping that going, he blew it. And for what? What was this supposed to prove? The only thing that has happened here is all of his lies have come out, because you can only fake it for so long before somebody comes along and calls you on your shit, and you either have to put up or shut up. And rather than just admitting, you know what, Andy, I don't really want to fight, I was just talking shit, he goes and, says, yeah, I accept the challenge. What I thought was a decent friend of his, Theyre La Rosa, went and actually, did him a favor and set this whole thing up. So rather than letting his friend set this up, he should have just said, hey, you know what? I was just talking shit. Didn't really want to do it. And I think people would have accepted that and respected that just a little bit better. Just a little bit more than somebody that says yes, pretends they're going to do something, and then at the very last minute bitches out with all of these weird, shady tactics behind the scenes. We'll go ahead and we'll read the official statement from Valor. I'm sure most of you have seen it by now, but just in case anybody hasn't, let's take a look at what they had to say. And the thing that's amazing here is you still have people believing that Tonka is somehow the victim in this situation, that for whatever reason, a reputable fighting, company wants to go and risk their reputation for what? For some nobody YouTuber, which doesn't make any sense because they had plenty of fighters on the card. And it seemed to me that they were being overly accommodating to what, Andy and Tonka were trying to do, because they were given, 2 extensions for getting in their stuff on time. So let's check it out. We felt it necessary to provide an update to a fight that was supposed to happen today at VFC 54 between 2 online personalities, Andy Worski and Tonka. We would like to make it clear that we are a professional MMA organization, and our core values are based on inclusivity, diversity, and free speech. And this release is in no way a positive affirmation of any particular ideas, comments, or videos, but simply a statement of fact to set the record straight. That's one of those obligatory, we don't support the ideology of either party involved sort of statement, which I can't stand. It's like, all right, we get it. But I mean, it's pretty much a given at this point at this time in society where, anytime a company interacts with somebody that might be slightly disagreeable, they have to come out with one of these statements saying they don't support it. So, whatever. We'll get to the important parts. Due to the unique nature of this bout, we at VFC required that both of these potential athletes sign a stating a few particulars, I guess they meant, such as sales commission, timetables for blood work, etc. Amateur fighters in the state of Tennessee must submit blood tests that prove they are free from hepatitis B, C, and HIV. Pretty reasonable. This Worski did within the required time allotment. However, when Mr. Tonka sent his required blood work, it came with a different name and different photo ID than the one that he signed the contract under. We informed him that, unfortunately, the 2 names must match up, otherwise we could be responsible to any number of potential liabilities. Now, you would think that somebody who claims to be, so into the fighting game and, this is his area of expertise, you think he would understand how to set this up properly, how to go through all the proper procedures to make sure that this happens. So right there is a massive red flag. A number of days passed, and Mr. Tonka again returned the original contract with the new name that was sent in with the blood work and ID, along with a change of name form that was dated from the time of him sending his blood work to us. This raises quite a few number of red flags on our end, as I said. Finally, due to the enthusiastic response of Mr. Worski's and Mr. Tonka's online supporters, we required both gentlemen to sign another contract in addition to their original one. This one absolving VFC or the Civic Coliseum for all liability, and informing them that if their fans are making proximate threats online or in person, that Mr. Worski and Mr. Tonka will report such people to the appropriate authorities, and that if actions are taken against VFC 54 or the Civic Coliseum, Mr. Tonka and or Mr. Worski would be pursued civilly and criminally. Mr. Worski signed this additional agreement. Mr. Tonka did not. Now, if I recall correctly, Tonka claimed that he would sign this agreement, and that Andy was the one that wouldn't do it. That leaves us where we are at today. Mr. Worski sent in his blood work and ID. He made it to Tennessee. He made weight officially. He passed his physical. He agreed to be held liable should one of his fans or himself be the proximal cause of distress for VFC or the Civic Coliseum. Well, I think that really says it all, and yet we still have people that are trying to deny that it's his fault. I mean, I get it. This is a PR statement, sure, but this company has no reason to, put their reputation, their professional reputation at risk for 2 YouTubers who, in the grand scheme of things, really have nothing to do with their promotion. They were kind of doing them a favor just by allowing them to take part in this. And it's amazing to me, the disconnect, where these guys really still believe their own bullshit to the point that, they think that they're going to put themselves at risk to make up a lie about somebody. Let me see. I had another. Yeah, okay. So here we have some screenshots from I think this is Tonka's Discord, or at least the Kumite Discord, or some Discord group that these people all hang out in. This band Dragon guy has been one of the biggest supporters. I think he goes by the name Thrax, if I'm not mistaken. In the history of fighting, what promotion has ever allowed someone to speak, let alone weigh in at a canceled fight? Yeah, but being confronted with the actual idiot in the cage is a rough pill to swallow. Some will need to process more than others. Remember, the promoter said he had to cut bait? What? At a canceled fight, it's infuriating. I'll be over it shortly, but right now, it's irritating. Didn't look that canceled to me. I think they forgot to tell Tonka that it was still on. Screw job. Yes, that. Do you think they paid the promoter for all of this? I'm thinking some people got some kickbacks. So now the new narrative that they're trying to come up with is that either Ralph or Andy or both of them got together and colluded to pay the promoter, even though they have absolutely no reason to help them do this. I mean, if you think about it, it really actually hurt Valor, because so many people, I guess, bought the pay-per-view last night that it crashed their service, and they ended up having to refund everybody who bought an online ticket, and they ended up streaming it for free. Now, do you think that's a move that a company would make if they were really trying to get, just pure profit out of this, and put their reputation at risk and do something completely illegal behind the scenes and have somebody falsely sign a contract when there's, something else going on? It makes absolutely no sense. And I said myself the other day that, they're going to try and now spin this by saying that somehow it's Valor's fault. And here we are. They lost over 6,000 on this fight. Yeah, I heard that, Necro. If you want to hop in, I don't know if you're busy, but feel free, and I'll pull you in.
My microphone is working, so I'm here.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah, it's working. It sounds fine. I actually have headphones plugged in this time, even though I can only hear out of one side of them, but it's better than having the potential echo.
Yeah, I suppose. I did hear about the 6,000 thing, I think earlier today.
Yeah, they talked about it a couple of times. They were saying 6,000 is just the estimate. It's not really certain how much, actually, because they even showed last night how many empty seats there were in the front of the thing, the front of the venue that were supposed to be taken. Did you guys hear where Tonka withdrew his apology? Yeah, I did. I was going to get to that as well. I actually have a download of it because I knew that at some point it was going to be pulled. So the moment the show ended, I went and I downloaded an MP3 version over it. Is that what he wants to do? Well, I'm not sure yet, but we might take a couple of calls later on. We'll see what happens. I'm actually only probably going to keep the show going until 10 o'clock at most, because I think there's going to be a stream later at about 10, so I want to catch that.
Take a couple of calls, huh?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I don't have... I actually do have a separate Discord set up, but I couldn't get it to work with the stupid overlay for some reason. I'll have to give it a try again at some point. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably just give out the link to this one, and then I'll kindly ask everybody to dip out of the server. And I'll set one up that'll be more just for the show, because this one is my personal server and I kind of want to keep it small.
This is where the gay ops occur?
Yes, of course. We're going to get a bunch of screenshots edited with pixelated icons and whatnot. It'll be perfect. Yeah, Pate bins. I think the stream is going to be on Coach Red Pill's channel. I imagine it is probably Ralph and Andy and him, because I don't think Dick is there anymore.
I guess he must have flown back already. He would have had to do the show at some point, so.
Yeah, I think he flew back earlier on in the day. That that intro was something else. How do you come back from that? I couldn't imagine just being the the mark, the ridicule. Just wow. Let me run gay ops in your Discord.
Well, we do look for credentialed academics of the YouTube community in there.
Yes, you YouTube academics, please respond. Let me see what else I had here. Oh, so then there's just so many different lies that it was hard to keep track of all of them. But you remember that at one point there were the allegations that Andy was chatting with some underage girl on Snapchat or something, and they had these screenshots put together, and there was a whole stream about it and whatnot. And at one point, Tonka retweeted the screenshots, and he made some kind of smartass remark, and then claimed, oh, I was just joking around. I didn't say it was real or anything like that. And then people go and release DMs that they had with Tonka, and it's a completely different line. He says it's not fake. That is why he's silent about it. Just wait for his defense. I've already heard it. I believe this is Sacrificial Guts on Twitter that he DM'd. And he says, really, man, I'll be the first to call him a piece of shit if you're right about this. Also, that was a super fast response, like lightning. He's like, I like you a bit. Kind of weird. But just wait it out. Look for his defense. It will be gold if he goes with what he was using. And, of course, the whole thing turned out to be an orchestrated fake, just to, because people on the internet just love to throw out their pedophile accusations with absolutely no proof except for a couple of screen caps.
Yeah, like one of the Kumatards.
It's so funny that there's actually a term for that.
Yeah, well, that's where we've gotten. That's the point we're at.
It just would have been so much easier to not let it go here, and it really seems like, I mean, this guy was so invested in calling everybody else losers and poor and all this other stuff, and it really turns out that it just seems like he's yelling at himself. He's yelling about his own life, but kind of just pretending it's everybody else's. And that's, in a sense, that's kind of really sad, but you kind of run out of sympathy when you go and try to, mess up other people to this extent. I don't really see what the purpose is.
Well, you got to wheel out that projector. That's what that comes down to.
Who said they were going to? Yeah, I heard about that. There was a GoFundMe set up for that. I don't know about that though. That might not be a bad. That might be a bad idea. If I kill my enemies, I win. I have I don't know, 2 or 3 mods total, so I don't usually police the chat room, if at all.
No blue wrenches.
Or we could just hand them out to everybody. Oh, by the way, I think if the Kumite channel does continue, I will be losing my blue wrench after this.
Well,
stream.
you didn't lose it on the apology stream, so
No, I didn't. I did try to, not help, but kind of push him in the right direction by asking particular questions, like if you have proof that you did everything you did, why don't you just put it out there and, absolve yourself? Because it makes no sense that if you can prove everybody wrong about what you've done, why would you sit there and just basically be, the mockery of everybody? You wouldn't do that. You would put out whatever you have to put out to prove yourself correct. And it always seems to be like some stupid excuse. Like when it came to, following Valor's requirements, like they wanted you to, sign on camera or, send them your photo or whatever. He didn't do those things, and they still allowed him to sign. And it really made no sense. I mean, if you're planning on showing up at the fight, if everybody knows what you look like anyway, even though you don't show yourself on camera on your streams, because you're out there as a public figure in the sense that you've done amateur wrestling or whatever before.
Or you claim to.
Well, there are videos of him doing the wrestling matches,
Yeah.
and people have played them and showed his picture around and whatnot. So everybody knows what you look like. So why not just do it? At that point, it looks bad. It just looks like you're afraid of something, you're hiding something. And, obviously there's the wheelchair meme. I don't know how true that is. Some people are saying, oh, I've seen him on camera behind the scenes, and that's not true. But there has to be some reason why he's so opposed to doing that goes beyond, oh, I don't work for these people. I don't work for Andy. I don't do what he wants. I don't do what the fans want or the audience wants or whatever. It's like, yeah, okay, at some point, I get the whole not bowing down to peer pressure, but you're supposed to be a quote unquote professional when it comes to this stuff. So you should just know that, that's part of the game. Everybody else on the card had their little versus image, and it had each fighter on the opposite side of the image, and they were real photos. This guy is the only one that has a cartoon character image on the card. Like, how embarrassing is that?
That's doubly embarrassing considering the one I don't even, maybe that was the one everybody was calling Rachel Maddow, but there was one that just looked completely like washboard flat with green hair and side shave, and even compared to her, just a cartoon avatar, just an embarrassment.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. I mean, I'm actually shocked that Valor allowed that, and just the fact that they did allow that kind of goes to show how loose they were being with these guys, allowing them to take part in their event. It's not something that they had to do. It's not something that was necessary for their event to take place. They had something like, I don't know, 30 something other fights on the card, if I'm not mistaken. So their battle, which wasn't even the main event, definitely wasn't important enough to give all that leeway that they gave. Chief Donga
They
of the
they
Black Tar Tribe.
they really went above and beyond for them, the and of course that's just the dramatic irony that the one who's supposedly the most experienced is the one that doesn't doesn't follow through on anything, which is no surprise. We've seen it in streams plenty of time. I mean, you had that one stream with that Goblin Slayer 69 guy, and he kept saying the whole time he had proof, and then he didn't provide the proof. I mean, this is really no different than that. It's just that
This is the Fight Me in IRL version.
yeah, that's all this is.
Yeah. It's absurd how out of control it really became. I mean, it didn't have to go this far. He didn't have to destroy everything that he built. And I know he didn't, have anywhere near the audience that he used to, but he still had 300 something people showing up to his streams, and I mean, that's way more than I generally have, and so that's something. And to just kind of, I don't know, piss that all away just because you're too proud or maybe too ashamed to just admit, hey, I screwed up, and I need to make this right, or I need to just tell you guys the truth that it's really not that big of a deal to me. Don't want to go through with this fight. I don't know what's so hard about that. I mean, I guess maybe it's possible that he actually believes his own bullshit. Maybe he's transgendering like shit rat, going from Donga to Donna. Anything is possible at this point. But yeah, the whole fake blood work thing and fake ID, that is crazy that you would do that you would, risk your, I mean, committing a crime, basically. It's fraud. Why would you sign a legal document and try to send in false information? I mean, I guess it's possible that the whole fake ID thing and blood work thing means that maybe he was trying to send somebody else in his place. I mean, I guess that's a possibility. Which is kind of weird though, because, like I said, everybody knows what he looks like. They would know that that's not the right guy. I mean, what was he gonna do? Wear a mask or something? Wait, what is going on here? Okay. Um, what else do I have here? Seems like if he believed his own hype, he would have shown up. Yeah, I mean that's true. I guess honestly, what I feel like is he he was hoping that he could do what he usually did and just kind of intimidate the other guy out of it, and just bank on Andy backing out rather than him ever having to address the fact that he was never actually going to do it. But obviously it didn't work out that way, and you can't fucking live a lie forever. At some point it's going to come out. Even if he did the fake name change, he still wouldn't have been allowed to fight because he never paid for his Tennessee fighting license. Yeah, I guess Zoom called around and found out that he never even paid for the license, and that he faked the notary, I guess, on the name change document. But then I also heard conflicting information that in Alabama you don't need a notary number on it. But I didn't see the document, so I'm not sure if it was lacking just the notary number or if it was lacking like the name of the person that notarized it. But either way, it sounds like trouble. But yeah, I mean, I actually from the beginning, I'm sure a lot of people felt this way, but I never really thought that the fight was going to take place at all. It just seemed to be unrealistic. And then as time went on, it just became more and more apparent who didn't want it. You had from the beginning Tonka saying things. Well, first of all, his refusal to do the photo, refusal to get on camera and sign the contract. Then you had him telling his audience, don't make plans to go. Um, don't use my promo code if you're going to buy virtual tickets. All of these things that kind of make it seem like he was trying to minimize any liability that he would have for not showing up. Yeah, he apparently stamped it using the seal from his mother's. Oh my. This just gets crazier and crazier. He was dodging Valor fighting. They called him 12 times in the last 3 days to confirm whether or not he got his fighting license and he never called back. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. But the notary isn't even relevant because he never filed. So it was absolutely fake, which makes it fraudulent. Man, it would have been great no matter who lost. They both would have looked good. Yeah, I mean, honestly, he shouldn't have been afraid to show up because even if he lost, he would at least have the respect of showing up. This just makes it worse. There's no coming back from this. And after last night, holy shit, that his existence is a complete embarrassment. He stole his mom's stamp for notary work. Where did you hear that? I'd be really curious to know where you heard that. I've been trying to catch like all of the different streams that have been going on with all the information coming out, but it's just been so much to keep up with. He committed notary fraud and contract fraud. He's a moron. Yeah, and I mean, wouldn't that be for two different states as well? Because the notary thing is from Alabama, and then you have the fighting contract, which I guess is for Tennessee. So that's kind of fucked up right there. It was on a COG stream with Zoom. Okay, I caught some of his stream, but he's been streaming like all day, so it was extremely difficult. Is that the real Baked Alaska account? I did see that he said yes, but I didn't know if that was his actual Twitter account or not because you know how the fakes tend to pop up here and there. I mean, if it's real, I think it would be interesting if it actually happened, just because Andy took the time to train, so why not actually have a real match instead of just a waste? Well, I guess it wasn't a wasted trip. They probably still had a lot of fun.
Not to derail the conversation, there might be some breaking news. I haven't seen the entire video. I just saw a name of somebody who, in the early days of your channel, was a very regular contributor and somehow got into Medicare's crosshairs. So
Really?
I'm from what I understand, it doesn't sound like it's a good thing.
What? Let me see it, or what is it?
Yeah, I will put it in the Discord in just a minute.
Okay,
Well,
this should
I
be
will,
interesting.
the guy that replied him, but let's just say cheese pizza might be involved.
Oh no.
I'm gonna DM it to you in Discord because I don't want it to,
All right.
in case there's nothing. But if you look at the title of the YouTube video and whose name is in the YouTube video,
I guess this might be interesting. I don't know what's happening yet. We're gonna find out. I don't know if it's delaying or what, but it's not coming through. Oh, I see what you did. Okay. I don't know if I can open it. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Oh no.
yeah,
Okay. Well, so I'm not going to bring this up on this stream yet. I know that sounds like a tease to you guys, but um, I don't know the story behind it, so I'm gonna have to look into it more.
yeah. I didn't want to have it change the content of this stream, but I at least thought it was something to look into because I do remember saying I hadn't seen this guy in a long time and was wondering what was,
You guys,
just kind of a where are you now kind of thing.
yeah, are you guys up to? Are you guys up to see the intro? I was planning to play it at some point on this stream, so if you want to see the intro right now, we'll play it right now. All right. So I'm going to look at this thing behind the scenes for a moment, and we're going to play this the intro from Valor last night. Enjoy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to bring out an opponent who his opponent did not show up. So I'd like to welcome to the cage, Andy Worski.
To elaborate on what Shamir had been saying, Andy Worski is making his way to the cage. His opponent, Tonka did not show up. Apparently 2 internet personalities making a name in a show.
Well, he does have a belt, though. I wonder what it's for.
Making the most of the experience with the no-show, Andy Worski here.
Personality time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may or may not have heard that we were supposed to have a YouTube grudge match tonight. His opponent did not show up for the reasons that are on Facebook. We made a really long post about it. So we wanted to give Andy the opportunity to walk out. He came and made weight last night. He's here. He wanted to walk out. He's been training for his fight. I'm going to hand the mic over to him and let him discuss his feelings.
Thank you.
Theyre. This guy, Tonkas Lies, has challenged about 50 people online to fight. It's saying he was a UFC champ, MMA, and I was the first person to be like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And he's tried everything in his power to make this match not happen. And I called the bluff, one after another. And you know what, I want to say that I'm not a fighter, but after training for the past 3 months, almost every single day, I respect the fight game. I respect the fighters. I respect the people who come out of here and even get their ass kicked, because I was willing to come out here and get my ass kicked, Tonka. Where you at? I flew from Canada. He lives in Alabama, one state away. Low T Tonka. Where are you? I spent every day drinking protein shakes and creatine shakes. This guy was busy drinking soy, non-stop. And now he's hidden. Now he's high. He won't show his face. But I gotta say, after all the training, I still want to fight somebody. I am going to fight someone in the upcoming months. We will make it happen. Because I just need to now. I need to. So thank you, Tonka, for making me a better version of myself. Looking better, feeling better, and showing everyone that you are a punk who won't show up.
Tonka, don't step to a man. Never challenge a man. We got a man right here, Tonka. Low key, Tonka. You take that to your grave, buddy.
Tonka Saw is bitch made.
Daddy, no!
Like you said to me, Tonka, the last thing I heard you say before I started training like a man, you said don't ever step up to a man. But you ain't here. And I've been stepping up. I'm a man, and don't you ever step up to a man.
Thank you so much. And as Andy said, he does want to fight someone. So expect to see him back in the Valor cage, going to fight someone, YouTube or not.
I want to challenge Baked Alaska. Baked Alaska. Baked at VidCon. Same time around VidCon in July in LA. Baked Alaska. We messaged you. Come on, man. Come on, let's do it, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Meet Tonga Warrior, the disabled tribe. Tonga hunts shiny rock and magic fireballs. Tonga not too opera.
All right.
Into the gut.
We have a high-risk
And,
situation
no.
going on here.
Oh, no.
This is not going to end well for one of these men.
He has him in a fireman's carry position.
Got him up.
No, he's got more
this
of
isn't looking good for Vito.
That Emerald Fusion off the top.
Two, man.
And that is it.
Yeah, that ending definitely was all too fitting. Let me check out the chat here. So, yeah, I guess Baked Alaska accepted, which is pretty funny. Hopefully that actually happens. Oh, but man, it's so hilarious that the songs... it's just funny because, like, barely anybody there, you know, really knows what this whole thing is about. But all the theme songs and whatnot, it's just too funny. I have to say it was also very fitting that right around the time, right when Andy screamed soy, his voice kind of cracked, which, you know, just given that he was talking about soy makes it very, very fitting.
And with that Bangkok After Midnight recommended video, you know,
what was that about?
I can only guess where this could go. Are we going to have another Davina situation? Are we going to raise some money for people transitioning?
Yeah, I have no idea. That's just ridiculous.
Or are we going to have a podcast where?
And I don't even understand how that's a related video or like up next, because I'm not signed into my account. This is the incognito window, so I have no idea how they think that's a related video to this post on Wild Smiles channel.
Well, you know, they hire the best and brightest. Well, I mean, we're talking about top AI ML researchers in their field. We just can't understand their level of genius when it comes to algorithms.
Yeah, the Ralph as Caesar thing was funny. It just reminded me of like an old school WWF intro when they just come out and talk shit at somebody. Yeah,
the interesting thing is that back in the day, the other person was actually there.
Yeah, and they had a chance of the guy coming out at least beneath the Titantron with the mic to respond. But in this case, he's just sitting in Discord typing furiously.
Well, he is the Medicare God Emperor.
Maybe he showed up in the Valor stream chat. They will fight and then go back to shit posting. What is Baked Alaska even doing anymore aside from that stupid TikTok crap, which is just really cringeworthy?
Isn't TikTok an app for pedophiles or something?
Or teenage girls, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know
Yeah.
what is the point of it. Isn't it just like stupid lip syncing weird crap?
I have no idea. It's just whenever I go to YouTube or the YouTube app on my phone, I'm always getting these TikTok ads, and I just see a bunch of teenage girls. Like, why would I look at this?
Baked is doing some creep shit on Twitch and TikTok. What does he do? Gaming? Oh, Fortnite, really? Does he dab on his haters?
Does he have a giant? Does he have his head superimposed horribly with green screen in the background?
I gotta set up my Twitch stream now. As well as drama streams. Wait, does he? But I don't think he does drama streams anymore, does he? He's pretty much done with that. Or so I thought. Because who even talks to him anymore? Wasn't he basically just ostracized after the whole Aaron thing?
Yeah, like wasn't that during the first Kumite breakup? When all that
It was
happened?
around that time, I think, and it was when Killstream really started to take off more. Because they happened to stream snipe the downfall of Baked Alaska. And then there was that whole thing where that Aaron chick, the video where she like digs into her vagina and pulls out I don't even know what stuff that doesn't belong in there.
like your long lost friends.
Okay, so I see that term around and I have no idea what it means. Somebody tell me what an irony bro is. I'm expecting a good definition here. Now they have him leaked on them streams with people doing rap and other crap. Oh my god, his songs were so terrible. Don't remind us. Wait, was there a link? I thought I saw a link. But it seems to have disappeared. I don't know if that's because of the restream thing or what. I guess it probably doesn't allow links. Irony bronies. That's scary to think about. I vaguely know who Beardson is, but I don't really know what they do. I've only heard him on the kill stream a couple of times, and it was kind of obnoxious. Just some edgy teens who have a podcast or something. They're BS Catholics who are pro-MAGA. Nick Fuentes is the head of those douchebags. Oh boy. I have to say though, the one entertaining thing that came out of Nick was when he was on that Lauren Southern stream with who's the trans person there that everybody used to like? Theyre. Yeah. And she got so got so pissed off about when he said basically that she wasn't normal. Irony bro equals someone who disagrees with your side of an argument, gaslights, and all around acts like cunts to derail a conversation. All right, I guess that's good enough. Dead air.
I did not hear anything about. Maybe vaguely remember anything to do with Theyre and Nick Fuentes, but
yeah, I'll have to give you a link to that because there's like a short clip of it somebody clipped.
Because I was gonna say, I know like briefly she became relevant for 5 minutes again, and then quickly faded into obscurity.
And basically just went over to the social justice side of things now.
Which isn't surprising. So I don't know if anybody was there. What was it, 4 years ago, back when Theyre was actually more popular than Blair White back in those days, and then Blair kind of took over
Yeah, because they used to do streams together and stuff.
Yeah, because I remember there was a video or something with Theron and Lauren Southern. I guess they were having like a sleepover or something, and I'm pretty sure Spino made some
Oh,
kind of
what?
comment
Something about being jealous?
Yeah.
That was back when he was still in the process of admitting his love.
Yeah, when he was still going his own way, but in love with Lauren Southern.
Well, remember, there was only one person he would make an exception for when it came to women.
As though he had a choice in the matter.
Yeah, seriously. You don't see little kangaroos clipping off their genitals in the wild. Yeah, this is a very human thing. I'm sure the aliens out there aren't doing gender reassignment surgeries either. You wanted to join the other girls for a slumber party? Yeah, okay. I can believe that, for sure. Didn't Blair go back to being a man to be able to cuck her man and have his own kids? Okay, so, yeah, there was a video where the doctor said... They did, like, this weird vlog thing where they went to the Blair's doctor's office and asked about having children, and I guess the idea was to go off the hormone replacement therapy in order to be able to, have viable sperm, and then they would, inseminate somebody, some woman, and that would be their kid. I don't really understand.
Have you seen that image? I don't remember where I found it, but the one where I guess some restaurant or something wouldn't let this guy, like they didn't have vegan options for this guy, or they wouldn't. I think he wanted to have children, and I think his doctor or somebody, or whoever fertility handles fertility said, well, you can't be a vegan if you want to reproduce. You need to actually eat some animal products, and he was like, well, fine, I'm just not going to do that. I have my girlfriend's sperm, so so I can just take care of her kids.
Oh, I remember that image. Yeah, that was fucked up. Somebody said his boyfriend's sister. No way. Where did you hear that? Are you bullshitting? I mean, I can believe it, but that's just messed up if that's true. Yeah, but the thing is, the post said her semen, which is what made the post hilarious. It's like, that was earlier. I heard somebody talking on Cog's stream where they're like, she got testicular cancer, and I'm thinking, wait, she? Like, what kind of world are we living in where that's even a natural thing to say? But I guess it was some trans person that hadn't gone through the complete surgery yet or something.
Well, remember that one guy who was flirting with that trans woman on one of those Twitter arguments you had?
Oh, the one that hopped in and said something about feminine penises?
Yeah, he said that it was a lovely feminine penis.
That's not disturbing at all. Probably has a micro penis by now.
It's not real, that's what it is.
Oh, there we go. Talk about how much of a faggot AIU is being... Well, first of all, I mean, the guy's name is Atheism is Unstoppable, so does anybody really expect anything other than faggotry from somebody with that name? And he might include you in an intro.
Hey, there are some top-tier Fedora lords who take his videos very seriously, and I laugh at all of them.
It's hilarious because he went and he released like a 45-minute interview with Tonka the same day that it came out that he wasn't going to be part of the fight. And I actually went and I listened to the whole thing, and just listening to that and knowing what I knew, it was just too funny. Like, the difference in attitude. And his mask represents a castrated kangaroo. Yeah, what is up with the kangaroo thing? That's really obnoxious. I mean, I guess some people can say, well, you use a giant blue thing as an avatar, but, I mean, it's not supposed to be me, so.
But that's not the first person who's gimmick as I'm atheist and uses a kangaroo as an avatar. I could have sworn there was like an atheist Rue
Wasn't that?
account.
Isn't that him? I think that's him.
Yeah, but from a long time ago though, because now it's AIU Devin Tracy or something. But I could have sworn there was another person. I don't really get it, but to me that was as annoying as when everybody would have the blank ape accounts, naked ape or thinking ape or whatever. Everybody had.
Oh
those.
yeah. Well, he also does the internet tough guy thing. I've seen him challenge people to fights, and the last person that he challenged to a fight on Twitter that I saw who actually like took him up on it, he ended up blocking. So he's the same type of, oh, tell me where you live, or I'll come fight you. It's like, no, you won't. You're not going to do anything. But it's just so funny how he still won't admit and just say, oh, well, you know what? I was on the wrong side of this. But it's because he put so much into it. I think he even said something about deleting his channel if Tonka lost.
Yeah, he did, and if I remember correctly, hasn't he deleted his channel or didn't something happens to his channel a couple of years ago back when I think people forget just how many different trends in the last 4 years we've gone through, and I remember when all the skeptics, when people didn't criticize the skeptics and they were the hottest thing on the streets. That's what everybody was going to, and I think he had shut down one of his or maybe that channel at that time or something.
It was either that or he got banned. I can't really remember which.
He might have gotten banned, but this time he did say he would shut down his channel if Tonka lost, and then that's when they were trying to argue semantics. Well, he didn't actually lose. Okay.
I mean, it's the same thing.
If you play any sports and the other team doesn't show up, they forfeit the game.
Yeah.
That's an L for them. So okay, fine, sir.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. So I don't have. All right, do I have a Discord link or? Well, I haven't taken any yet, but I guess we can give it a shot. The one thing I'm going to ask, since this is just I don't have the other server set up yet, so this is just going to be like my personal server. So if I could ask you guys after the call is over or whatever to kindly duck out, and then I will, send proper invites at some point to the server for the stream. But let me see if I can figure out how to get a link. Okay, here we go. And I'll try. I wonder if I can drop it in the chat and it'll post in both. But yeah, if you join the server and then just go into the call-in area, and then I can pull a couple of you in. I think it went to both. We'll hear some. I guess we'll hear some alternate takes on what Tonka has done here. Hey, Metacrist, what's up?
Hey man, how's it going?
All right, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I saw you were doing a stream. How long have you been streaming on Streamy?
Stream me since Ralph Retort joined.
And today, were you covering the Donga shit?
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a little while. The conversation strayed a little bit, but if you've got something to add, feel free.
Well, I don't know how far did you get into the Donga stuff?
I mean, I'm fairly certain I know just about all of it that's happened so far. The last thing that I heard, though, was about him putting out the update where he was like, oh, I pulled my apology, but I'm going to address it later.
Yeah, he pulled his apology, and he's creating the narrative that Valor and Andy had a deal, backroom deal.
Yeah, I've talked about that a little bit before, because I had said the day prior that, they're going to find a way to blame Valor for this, because there's just no way that he's going to take full responsibility here. I mean, you could even see that some of the so-called fans that he has left were pulling the same shit, where they're saying, oh, they're trying to change the narrative last night when the Valor site crashed, saying, oh, Valor ripped me off, and, I paid good money for this, and the site's not even working, they're a ripoff, I'm not getting any answers out of them. It's like, all right, they're running a show right now. You expect them to answer your messages right away.
Yeah, and if they had a backroom deal with Andy, it would have had to been in the tens of thousands of dollars because first of all, they lost 6,000 just on the pay-per-view
Well, not to
because they had
mention,
to
I
reimburse it.
heard that just like the bond requirement for to hold the fight card was like 35 grand or something. There's no way that they would go and risk their reputation for what probably amounts to chump change when it comes to their profits.
Yeah, and also the low IQ takes of, hey, why didn't Valor outright say that Dong is a fraud? They just said he had a different name, so that doesn't prove anything. Well, when has it ever happened that a serious organization called somebody a fraud, a crook, or anything else? They're handling this professionally. They're not gonna call him anything, especially if they're thinking of suing or taking any legal action.
Oh yeah, they're not just gonna throw that. They're not gonna put their reputation on the line unless they have evidence to back up what they're saying. There's absolutely no reason for them to do that.
Yeah,
And
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 did you
even
did
then
you hear?
they would not say it because you know I don't want to be all internet lawyer here because I'm not. But you can't make accusations like that. You can't make conclusions like that. So
Yeah,
so they,
especially as
they
a large organization, yeah.
Right. I mean,
And
it's just too funny that they would even consider that being a thing, especially since it wasn't even Andy that knew Valor. It was Tara LaRosa who was friends with Tonka first.
yeah, exactly. And she stuck her neck out for this, and in the end, the one who technically betrayed her is Tonka, not Andy. But it's funny how they're still thinking of these excuses. I don't know how many fans he has left who believe this shit, but there's always something new, and he doesn't really have a good cult of personality in order to have a running show where his fans are still supporting him.
I think I've
Especially,
seen on Twitter publicly. I think I've seen Akajan still supporting him, and Leaf.
he's a sex offender.
Is he really? Is he really?
He is.
Oh
He
no.
is. Call him that and see how he flips out. He he really is Zoom proved this.
The only
But
thing I was doing so far was making fun of his fanfics,
tell
but
you
he
what,
hadn't said anything to me yet.
uh, just push it a little bit. You'll see he flips out every time, and especially the Goku stories he makes. Call him out on that, he'll flip out. But one thing I found interesting was where they were talking about the finances. Failure admitted that Donga was making about 70K in 10 months on the channel during the past year.
Yeah.
And so Vamp was getting 500, or was it Failure who was getting 500 and the other one was getting 1,500?
I think I heard Failure say he got 1,500 at least a couple of times or once
Yeah,
or something like that.
he's 1,500. Vamp is like I think 500, and AP said he was paid a few shows when he was there. So this leaves the rest of the money that went to Dong, and we're speculating in our sphere that Dong is actually on disabilities, and this is why he didn't want to show up. This is like one of the greatest reasons he didn't want to show up, because that would obviously put him in at odds of getting his disability.
Right. I mean, I've heard people say that they've seen him on camera behind the scenes and he seems all right, but I really don't know. I mean, I've never seen anything myself, so I can't say. But I guess that is a possibility.
Yeah, well, we also speculate it could very easily be that his family. I mean, we already know his family owns the car lot. It's not on his name. It's like a family-owned business owned by his mother. So he's probably not having any income there, not officially. We also know that he paid through prepaid Visa cards. So there's definitely some tax evasion going on here, tax fraud.
Man, you guys are on top of this stuff.
Oh, well, Zoom's the artist behind most of the info.
Yeah,
but
I
also
heard
Failure
about.
gave some info.
Yeah, I heard about the financial stuff earlier, and that was interesting to me because I had always heard when listening to the Kumite back in the day, oh, Failure, don't I give you most of the money? Don't I give you most of the money? And that's, he agreed, but I guess he was just lying for Tonka at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
I do
he's the
remember
last detractor, right? He jumped ship when he saw this opportunity. I mean, it's really convenient. I don't really have anything against him personally, but it's
Sounds
kind
a
of
little
convenient,
fishy.
isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have a problem with him either, but it does seem like, well, you kind of waited till the very, very last minute to realize that this guy's bad news, so it's very hard to think of it as much other than, oh, well, I finally realized because I have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and he got shekels for that. He made some money off his last stream, at least.
I saw that. I was like, why are people paying this guy just for this? I didn't realize that's all you had to do was get involved with some shady character.
I was really puzzled by that.
And then break away from him last minute and then just hop on a stream and be like, I disavow this guy, and then the money starts rolling in. If I had known that.
See, disavows really do mean something after.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a hot topic, but people sending him so much money. I mean, if you want to tell him something, send him $2 and he'll have to read it. But people were actually supporting him, and he was there when Andy was getting accused of being a pedo, so that can't really be forgiven.
Yeah, that one's rough, and I do question, whether or not Andy should really bother with him in the future. But I mean that is his call, but I definitely would be skeptical and definitely not be as friendly.
I wouldn't give him the views either.
That's true. That is true. But supposedly, I don't know if this has been confirmed anywhere or anything, but supposedly they're going to do a stream at some point and talk things out. But, that just seems... it just seems weird to publicize it like that.
He was supposed to do a stream today, as far as I know. Donga was.
I heard that, but he never popped up, did he? I wonder if he's just going to wait and do the regular Kumite schedule.
I don't think so. I'm speculating he's gonna lay low a bit unless he has some doctored information, like he's pointing out. He might just come out with that and make a stream about it. But I don't know, man.
They're probably photoshopping as we speak.
Yeah, poor photoshopping. Pixels are gonna be visible.
They're putting that Comic Sans font to use.
It's just too funny. I mean, after last night, I just don't know how you think you can come back from that, or how anybody could take you seriously ever again, because they made the biggest joke out of him. And rightfully so. I mean, it's...
He made the joke out of himself.
Right.
Basically, that's the best part of it.
Yeah, it's like one of those situations where it just could have really, really easily been avoided, but he let it spin out of control. And I mean, it's hard to say why. I don't know if it's like a matter of foolish pride or what, but he could have ended it way sooner.
Yeah, he could have, but I think the sweetest part of all of this, so how he's always been saying, I'm not internet people, and ED changed their Internet Tough Guy page and put his picture on it. He literally turned himself into the Encyclopedia Dramatica's Internet Tough Guy page. Yeah, he's the definition now.
I wonder if he's actually going to get his own official page, though.
Oh, I'm sure he has one already. I've never checked, actually.
Yeah, I haven't looked either, but if he doesn't already, he's definitely got one on the way.
What else have you guys been covering? You've just been covering the Donka shit?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this evening.
Are you restreaming on YouTube?
Yeah, I got both. I'm doing... I use the restream.io.
I tried that, and for me it didn't work for some reason. YouTube kept fucking up. Streamy worked.
I haven't had a problem with it. I'm not sure. I mean, I could look through my settings or something and maybe shoot you a message or something, send you a screenshot of the way I have it set up.
Oh, somebody sent the Kumate link in chat. 63 people waiting, but there's no announcement yet.
Oh, is there really?
Oh,
Let's see.
Yeah, well, let me...
Yeah, he turned it on, but I don't really stream but it looked like he had just turned it on, and then
He's he's
dislikes
probably
came
waiting
in.
for crowd to doctor the info.
I wonder if Kraut's gonna be his new host, because who else is he gonna have?
Well, Vamp's still there. Stockholm Syndrome still kicking in strong.
I like how that's her actual username in the Discord. It's like you're using it as satire, but it's actually kind of true.
That's oh man, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think is gonna be the end of all of this? Like, let's say 6 months ahead.
I want to say that he's probably going to delete his channel, but I'm honestly not sure, because it seems like he's going for the double down attempt first. I think maybe if it gets bad enough, he'll disappear. Like maybe if it gets to the point of having to, have legal action taken against him, then maybe he'll disappear.
Yeah, I agree on that.
And then at which point he will change his name to Double Donga.
Double down donga.
I was saying
I don't cave, I'm so brave. That's donga.
the only chance that he has to come back and still do a show is change his name, his username or his channel to Low T Tonka, and call it the Morning Soy Mate.
Oh, I think he's yeah. I exactly agree with what you said. If some legal action's taken, he's probably gonna disappear. But if not, it can't get any worse for him, because there's still gonna be like 30, 40 retards who will watch him, and he's been doing that kind of show from forever. I mean, he used to have like 40 people watching.
There was a guy I saw on Twitter earlier that was hardcore defending him against that guy Tipster, and he was saying something like, "Oh, you guys are never going to let him live this down. Why don't you just let it go?" It's like, it's been a few days. What are you talking about? And it's like one of the worst instances of like internet fuckery that I can remember in a very long time, at least since the Mundane Matt stuff.
He's on par with Maddox, I think.
So we got a lawsuit coming soon for, I guess, against Valor?
I mean the level of the level of shame that's been brought upon him is like Maddox. I mean, Monday Matt did flag and shit, but Tonka ditched something he was bitching about for a year. Like, Fight Me IRL was his meme.
Yeah, that was his thing?
He bitched out. Yeah.
I'm actually curious how many people he challenged, because I do remember hearing it a lot when I used to listen to the show, but I never counted it. I know there was Baked Alaska. I think there was Mundane Matt at some point.
CRP.
Okay, there we go.
Destiny.
Yup, Destiny.
Geek. Andy. Ralph.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's almost like 8 right there, so.
Wait, let me think about it. I mean, surely there's at least 10 people, at least.
Oh, it's absurd.
I mean, I can only name the ones that are popular in the community, but I'm sure there were even more. Zeph as well. That's already like 9.
Failure just said that Donga had a twin that died growing out of his neck. They were trying to confirm it with AP. What? No. Can it get any weirder? Was that Hector? I guess that's what they're talking about on COG stream. Or at least maybe they were earlier, because here's a post that somebody linked in the chat from 12:41 p.m.
Yeah, he told Failure before, like a few months ago, before the docs and everything, that his name was actually Hector or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, why would you lie to somebody that you're supposed to consider, one of your closest friends? It's just really weird. It just kind of goes to show how deep in the delusions that he is. Just not honest with anybody.
And Hector of all names.
Donga is Hector, his twin is Nectar. Nice. Oh, wow. The memes on this one are never going to end.
I think this is like crowd. and his Discord gay ops lived 1 year after it. I mean, they're still living, but they were like the best meme up until Mundane Matt was uncovered. I think this is gonna be the same way with Tonka until a huge, massive pile of shit drops on the internet. This is gonna be like
Yeah, they
the
kind of just have
go-to.
to. They kind of just have to wait on the sideline until somebody else massively fucks up.
Yeah, and even then, I don't think they're salvageable, especially Donga. I mean, everyone bailed except Vamp, and I mean, women can usually find an out a bit easier. But Failure jumped last, and there's nobody there left. I mean, Akujan is a sex offender, so I don't know. The rest of his fans are pretty low IQ. Ralph covered the Brock, his guy who was stalking his girlfriend.
I think I missed the segment on him, but I heard there was some weird stuff.
Yeah, apparently he was waiting in a van 2 blocks from his ex's apartment and saying that he's not there. He was apparently trying to kidnap her or something. He told her he had rape fantasies about her
Wow.
or rape dreams. And yeah, that turned out weird then. I mean,
So that's like a cross of Ross and Maddox there.
These people, it's just crazy.
yeah, this never ends, man.
I guess it's just like the internet is the place for the weirdest of the weird to create their fantasy lives and be whatever they want to try to be. But eventually it gets revealed. I mean, that he talked too much shit and couldn't back it up. I think if he didn't add the Fight Me IRL stuff in there, he might have been able to live the lie just a little bit longer.
He could have salvaged this, like, he still could have, before he thought about these elaborate schemes of how am I gonna explain to everyone that I actually chickened out. He could have said, okay, I am bitch made, I couldn't do it. He could have ate the bullet, and that would be it. That would be it. I mean, he would be a laughing stock for a while, but he would still have some semblance of honesty, or people would look upon it more positively than now. Now he's just like a little lol cow from Kiwi or from Cow.
Let's see if this ever goes live, because apparently the Kumite listing is still up. It's got 88 people waiting, and it already has 96 dislikes. I mean, I'll snipe it if it starts, but I don't know if it's going to start before I go off air.
I think it's been there for a while already. I think when Cog started streaming, which was like, I don't know, 6 hours ago or something.
Oh, it's been there
that's
that
when,
long?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And nothing.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to hijack your show anymore. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. Good talking to you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here on Streamy. See you about.
Oh, thanks. Later, man. All right. I don't know if anybody else wants to pop in for a couple minutes, but if so, now is the time, because we're getting close to 10 o'clock, and that is when the other stream is supposed to start. So let's see what's going on here in the chat. Donga didn't Photoshop, he cut and pasted. It's a troll op. Do like Ralph did with Jim and just take his beating. Oh, you mean like the Mortal Kombat stream? There's still a rematch that's supposed to happen at some point. The stream is supposed to happen. Let me see. What is my link? Ha! I have to find it again. My bad. Here we go. Petition you to name your Goodfellas skit to Gooffellas in memory of Donga's biggest goof. Nice. Oh, there's going to be a stream on Coach Red Pill's channel. That's the one I was talking about. I imagine it's going to be Ralph, Andy, and Coach Red Pill. I don't think there's anybody else there anymore. All right. I don't know. Yeah, but if you pop in, head into the call-in room. Hey, Spooky, what's up? I guess she popped out. All right, well, let me know. I don't want to pull you back in if you're not ready. Get Nectar on? He's not here. We have Necro, but not Nectar. 2 remaining Kumatards. Who's left? Yeah, so there's... Let me see if I can find the guy. Because I made fun of him earlier. Oh, okay. That's just somebody that was... I think his name was Jacob something. Let me see.
I just remember Jacob, but I know you're talking.
Yeah, I was having fun making fun of him. Yeah, okay, so this is the exchange that I was talking about where he's going after Tipster. Okay, then stop acting like this is a really important thing. Move on and let's go. Let things go, because apparently, committing fraud and all of that isn't really a big deal. It just doesn't matter. Tonka fucked up, I'll agree with that, but this isn't over. Life is going to move on. Act like an adult, build a bridge, and get the fuck over it. So apparently acting like an adult consists of challenging people to fights and not showing up to them, committing fraud, and then expecting everybody else to just get over it. Let's see. Oh, really? What gives you permission to bitch about a fuck? Are you fuck up police? This person has terrible writing skills, but I wrote, Jacob no like Tipster. Tipster make bad talk about Jacob's chief. Jacob have big anger in heart. Defend Chief Smokescreen's honor at all costs. Jacob no think for self. Jacob need native man's live stream to live.
Yeah, I remember that little monologue from Chrono Trigger.
It's so much fun to type like that. Am I supposed to be on the call-in voice thing? Yes, you are. I tried to pull you in, but you disappeared. Yeah, go in the call-in room. We've got the good rabbi on the air. What's up?
Oh, hey there. I'll make this short just because I could go on and on about this.
Sure.
But I think I know why it is Tonka is such a spurg. And a lot of people try to attribute this to like one moment when like, oh yeah, like remember this, like that was the turning point for Tonka. But I don't think you could just point out one moment. I think because I spent some time thinking about this, putting myself in the mindset, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on in his head. And I think what I came up to was he knew he was lying the whole time. He sometimes he would mention like, oh, you talk yourself up. That's what you do in wrestling. You talk yourself up.
Right.
Well, I think when he got onto YouTube, that's what he did. He talked himself up, and eventually, like, it got to a point where like he stopped and like looked at what he was doing. He's like, oh shit, my entire presence here is built on a lie. Yeah. And like everyone knows what it's like when you're trying to keep a lie private, but you're so public that it's only a matter of time. You get paranoid and you start doing stupid shit. That's why Tonka was pushing people away like for no reason. He was spurging out. He was doing really stupid shit. I think he's just a man who's been far too paranoid for far too long, and it's finally come full circle and it's biting him in the ass.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's actually a pretty good analysis of the situation. And the pushing away people thing is really interesting because, he had all these people that genuinely seemed to like him. And the moment that they did like one tiny thing that he could, misconstrue as being out of turn or not in complete agreement with him towing the line, he would just kick them to the curb.
Yeah, and that's where the paranoia kicks in. And, honestly, I think he's probably not, like, mentally he doesn't have that fortitude. So I think when like someone stepped out of line, because of the paranoia, he would overreact, and then I just build up on it, and it's like, oh shit, now I'm on someone else's shit list, and it made the paranoia even worse and worse and worse. So moral of the story, kids, is don't go on the internet, make yourself a public person, and then lie about it. It doesn't work out. Objectively speaking, it is one of the stupidest things you can do.
Oh yeah, it's totally not even worth it anyway. I mean, what do you really get out of it? He could have been fine just continuing to do what he was doing, just with the Kumite, just, like, what was it that Mediker said? Just sit there and read your super chats. That's the easiest job.
Yeah, essentially. So, well, that was it. That was the little sermon from the good rabbi.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, man. All right, let's try this again. Hey, Spooky, you're on the air. And she popped out again. It's not working.
It's just more of this harassment against women.
I think so. Let's try one more time. Hello, hello. No. I don't know if she's doing that or if I'm doing it. I don't think it's me. I know how to work it. Everybody else has been able to get pulled in. All right. Well, we got 6 minutes left, so.
Well,
time is
when it comes to women, we have to pull out. So.
Oh no. I thought that was going to be a women in technology joke, but we went a completely different direction.
No, I try to have diversity and comedy there. So.
Diversity and humor. Hasn't been in a good place lately. Just miserable. Yeah, how many times did he say miserable on that stream? I think it was there was a counter. Somebody should re-upload the stream with a miserable counter. That would actually be pretty entertaining. I mean, it would make listening to that 40 or 50 minutes a little bit more bearable. I guess this isn't going live. I kind of want to sign in just to see if I still have a wrench. But I don't think I'll do that. All right. Well, I guess her thing is not working here or something. The Killstream Rabbi somehow got into the Skeptic Discord and managed to get quite the high roll on it, as far as I remember. Oh yeah, I remember that he came in and he was talking about, are you having trouble pulling me in? I'm using my phone, so it's probably bad. Yeah, I kept trying to pull you in and it would automatically throw you out. I've been able to get everybody else in, so I don't know what the issue is. But I guess we're going to wrap up here. It's been fun, but I do want to catch the other stream, so we'll go do that. And let me, before I leave, let me find the link to the other show, and I will throw that in the chat, and then we can go over there. Well, we'll have to give it a try next time with the calls. It worked out pretty okay, so I'm not opposed to doing it again. All right, here we go. This is the new stream. Everybody have a good evening, and we'll see you next time around. But yes, moral of the story, don't lie on the internet.